Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're all well. We're back with another one now that I got from Christmas, or got for Christmas, I should say. And this was from my wife. She got me a box from Beers of Europe, I believe. 26 different beers from all over the world. So this is the first one of them, I think. First one I've done out of the box, actually, yeah. And it's from Amundsen, who are out of Norway, Oslo, I believe. And this is a can of their Lush, and it is a raspberry and lime sour. Let me just show you the artwork there. That is so cool. Typical Amundsen artwork. There we go. It's a 330ml can, 5.3%. No idea how much it was, don't need to know. Probably if it was purchased off Beers of Europe, probably more than what you would pay for a supermarket beer, no doubt. Maybe even more than what you'd pay over in Norway. But yeah, interesting. I'm quite partial to a sour. I'm just going to give you another quick swirl of the can, show you what it's got on there. I'm partial to a sour, and it is a style that is growing on me. I don't think it's something I would session because of the sourness, if you like. But yeah, I do like them here and there. They do give you a little bit of a rush. There's the back of the can. There we go. I'm going to let you read all that because I got no chance of reading it. So we'll get it into a glass. It's nicely chilled. I don't have an Amundsen glass, so we're going to go with the Vault City glass because they are sour specialists, so it can go in a sour glass if you like. So let's get it cracked open and see what we get. Now, I think, if I'm correct, by the time this video goes up, it is going to be Saturday the 18th, I believe. So by the time you see this, I'm going to be going away to Krakow on the 20th, so off to Poland. Will there be any videos from there? I don't know, hopefully not, but there may be a couple of videos. I do plan on hopefully trying to get some Polish beer to bring back and review from home, but I'm going to try not to do any videos while I'm away because we're away. And it would be nice to try and keep it separate, our lives, our own personal lives separate from the YouTube channel, but something may well come up while we're away. Anyway, there we go. Beer in a glass, or sour in a glass. Looks exactly like I would have expected. Very much a raspberry looking beer. There is some clumps lurking around in there. Hazy, murky, raspberry looking, with about half a finger of a little pinky head on top. I'm not seeing any carbonation go up, so I'm just going to stop talking and we'll dive in on the nose and see what we get. See if we get that raspberry and lime. I'm fully expecting to get a massive hit of raspberry with that little zingy lime in the background. Surprised me a little bit because you do get the raspberry, you do get that sourness, you do get that tartness from it, but I would say that lemon zingy or lime zingy zestiness, I would say, it's more at the forefront rather than something hovering in the background. I think you do pick some of that sort of zinginess up from it on the front. But you definitely get it all sort of together. You definitely get it all sort of together. There's nothing really sort of overpowering anything, I don't think. So I'm going to stop talking. We're going to dive in on the Amundsen Lush Raspberry and Lime Sour, 5.3%. I'm not even sure if I said it was Lush before or just called it a Raspberry and Lime Sour. But that's what's coming up. So let's dive in, have a taste. Cheers, everyone. Cheers to the missus. Maybe lacks a bit on the sourness. It's not face puckering sort of sourness, if I'm honest. Body for me, typical sour sort of body. So even though it's 5.3%, it's not heavy. but nor is it watery thin. It's like it drinks like a light beer, which is sort of what you expect really from a sour or a traditional sort of sour, rather than these modern days big gloopy sort of sours. There is a sour and tart note to it, can't deny that. Carbonation is there, but certainly not overpowering. Sometimes they can be really well carbonated. This doesn't have that much carbonation, but it's certainly there and you do know about it. And I think you do, a sour sort of relies on, I think, that fizziness to really sort of push the sourness around the mouth. Nice and smooth. There's definitely, it feels like a malty note in there with a slight sweetness, which could be just taking the edge off the sourness, but you definitely get that tartness. Like I say, it's definitely got that zinginess. The raspberry and the lime are two flavours that really work well together, I think, in my opinion, certainly in something like this. The carbonation is coming back up and repeating on me a little bit. Very drinkable. The more you drink it, that sourness, I'm going to say, certainly comes more to the front. The more your palate adjusts, that sourness becomes more in your face. There is definitely a malty backbone to this. That's what it feels like. It feels like a digestive biscuit in the background, with that sort of subtle digestive biscuit sweetness. And then you're getting the raspberry, the lime, the sourness, the tartness. But the sourness and tartness isn't massively in your face. I think that sweet malty digestive biscuit note is sort of reining it in and keeping it sort of to sensible sort of levels. But it's very nice, it's got to be said. I really am coming round to the sour style. Not something that I'm going to sit and drink lots of or have a session on, but certainly one that just offers you something different. A sour does offer you something different. When you sit there and you drink IPAs, session IPAs, lagers, they're all very much I think when you've had so many of a certain style, they all become a little bit bland and a little bit dull, even however good these beers are. But because I don't drink a massive amount of sours, I think this style is always sort of like fun to try and have one or two of, and that is what this is doing. It's fun to drink. It's enjoyable. Raspberry and lime, like I say, you definitely get that. I think what you get is maybe more raspberry in flavour, whereas the lime, you just know that there's lime there in the background, if you know what I mean. So the big sort of flavour you get is mostly raspberry, but you get that note of lime running through it all. But I like it. I think that's nice enough. You know, is it a world beater? Is it worth £3-4 depending on what it cost? It's hard to say, but it is. It's not like one of these modern sours that are just like big smoothies that have virtually nothing there. This does sort of go along the lines of a proper sour, if a little bit conservative, you could say. But yeah, I like it, and I think I'll continue to try the odd sour and drink them because they just offer something a little bit different, just to break the monotony of IPAs and lagers and session IPAs. But yeah, that one gets a thumbs up from me. I'm not going to tell you it's the best sour in the world. I think we all know if you want some of the best sours in the world, you either got to go to Germany or get things from like Belgium or even Holy Goat up in Scotland. But it's a perfectly respectable sour, enjoyable enough. it's nearly gone, and that's it. So there you go. There's my thoughts on that beer. I'm not sure if I've reviewed that before, you know. I don't think I checked, but if I have, you've got another video. There you go. There's my thoughts on that beer. Let me know your thoughts if you've had it before. Like the video, feel free to subscribe, and I will see you again soon on another one. Cheers.